Hey guys, welcome to CodePunk and welcome to a new coding series in Shopify. I've been doing active Shopify development for a lot of years right now, and I've decided to put something back in the community over there. So today we're going to learn how we can create cart pop-up in Shopify theme, any kind of theme. So I'm going to start with the Scratch theme of Shopify Online Store 2.0 right now, which is Dawn. So you get all of the idea how Shopify works, how we can implement anything in Shopify using JavaScript and Liquid. And let's see. Okay, so I have this VS Code open here, and I have logged in the store codepunk.myshopify.com, and I'm going to first pull the theme to my local repo. Let me just zoom that in. Okay, suppose you could see that, right? So I'm going to fetch this theme to my local environment. It is downloading. This is Shopify CLI. You can always download it from GitHub, or you can go to the shopify.dev. I'll show you. You can go to shopify.dev to see everything over here. All the tools are available over here. You can download it and use it right away to locally develop your themes, not use the online theme editor from here, right? Okay. First time it takes a little bit of time. Okay, meanwhile, I'm going to go to the products, and I will add a test product over here, so which we're going to use to test, right? Test product, or we can say like Al Pacino t-shirt, right? I'm not going to add any picture. I'm just going to add the price over here, and not change any kind of settings over here, and I'll just save it. Right, the product is saved, and I'll turn the status to active. There we go. Now if we go over to our collections slash all, we can see that t-shirt over here, but it is sold out. So I am going to set the quantity of available to 10 so we can test that out easily. Let's go into that product. Okay, we see the product, right? I'll just reload it. So yeah, we get it. So add to cart. There we go, it's added to cart, but we will build this pop-up right from scratch, right? So we don't need to use this one, we'll just build one right away, so we see how we can build this easily. Now let's see. Yeah, the theme is fast. I am going to open that folder in the VS Code over here, so simply going back to the products, and on Shopify, right over there it is. I'll just zoom that in for you guys. Okay, I'm going to run Shopify theme serve to locally serve that theme. It is syncing the theme right now. Okay, let's just come over here to the code window and let's just browse what assets are there available to us. There are a lot of assets. As you know, Shopify Online Store 2.0 uses the individual CSS and JavaScript file for each section, so you don't get a lot of load time when loading the web page. So each template and each section has its own CSS file. So if that section gets loaded, that CSS file gets loaded, not extra CSS, right? Just what is needed. So we are going to collapse all of this, and I'm going to go to the JSON templates over here. So we don't have liquid templates, we have Online Store 2.0 where we have all the JSON templates. Now I am going to open theme.liquid, right? Now what I am going to do is I am going to create a, let's just let me hide that bar over there. That is the activity bar. So yeah, I'll just collapse all of this so it gets easy, right? Yes, I'm going to create an asset first, so it is going to be our cart popup. Now I'll say custom cart popup.js. There you go, a file for our pop-up, right? And in the theme.liquid, I am going to include that file over here, script source after the global.js. I'm just going to load that file over here because that pop-up is going to work on each of the web page, right? I'm going to defer it also because we don't need to affect it load time, that's why. So let's just test it right away. I'm going to do custom cart popup loaded, right? Or loading. Let's see. Yep, all of the theme files are served. Now if we head over to our localhost 127.0.0.1 there it says you go that file, those files are being locally served right now. So I'm just going to head over to the preferences and see what is the store password. There we go, we have that store password. Just copy and paste that over here. Okay, now let's just close that. So collections / all Chino t-shirt, and here we are. Now I'm going to head over to console. You see that message that we typed, custom cart pop-up loading, that is being loaded, so that's okay. So let's just come over here and simply build a cart pop-up, right? And first of all, I'm just going to create a new snippet over here called custom cart popup liquid, and we'll load this snippet over here in the body, right? After the anchor tag, I'm going to include that, or not render that snippet, like, right? Custom cart popup. So in there we create a div and we just name it like custom cart popup. There we go. Right. Okay. Now we can create another div, custom cart inner, and there we go, right? We'll just create a simple pop-up, not an advanced pop-up, but I will give you guys the keys to how we can follow the design patterns on Shopify so we don't get affected with the loading time and each and everything, how we load, how we use the API. So I'm going to create another file, custom cart popup.css, to add all the style over here, and also for that I'm going to load that file up here in the CSS. yeah, after the base, just going to copy it and paste. So custom cart popup.css. Right. Okay. So right now we have this cart popup. I'll just write some simple style. So cart popup, and I'll do position fixed, and height is going to be 100 VH. Yeah, let's just do top 0 pixel. Right, 0 pixel. Transition is going to be all 0.5 per second linear, and let's do popup dot active, and we're going to do transform translate x. That's going to be 0%, right? And over here we're going to do transform translate 100%, right? And also I'll just give it the min width, not okay, we will give it width of 100% and max width of 300 pixels, or 400 will be good. Background F, and box shadow, so 0 pixel, at least 4 pixel, minus 2 pixel, 0. Right. So let's see, there's no output over here. Let's just go to elements and see our custom cart popup. It's being hidden over to the right over here, and I'll just add the active class that we added in the CSS, and it will come right. Oops, sorry. I'll just add the class here. Okay. So that is our popup, right? But it's being hidden behind all this header and each and everything. So we'll just give it the z index of 9. There it goes. Now it is for 100 pixel, right? So let's just drop it right now a little bit, and over here let's make it 3, and also let's give it the index of 9. There we go. Now I'll just remove the active class. We'll just do a prototype of code. So simply let's put window.cart. I'll just name this like code punk cart, right? So CP cart, right? And I'll just create an object in there. We create an init function, and over here we say open cart, or we'll just say open, right? Open function, and we also create a close function. So we have these 3 functions. Dot init will be called when all of the document is loaded. So we put over here document dot add event listener dom content. I'm sorry. So yeah, it was just like this, dom content loaded, right? Nope, that's not it. So we just put ready, and sorry, dom content loaded. I think it was just like this. So I always forget that. I just copy and paste that. Okay, so dom content loaded, right? Always copy and paste that. So always forget that, you know, typical developer over here. Don't judge, guys. Okay, yeah, there we go, we have that, right? So on this we run that function, and when all of the content is loaded, we init the cart. So in the initialization we just say initializing, right? So over here we also create another object called selectors, or you can simply say L, right? I'm not going to go into advanced techniques, just simple, so you guys can know. So I'll just say over here cart, and in there I'll just do some like hash, and whatever our cart ID is, I'll just say custom cart popup. I'll just not do hash, right? So custom cart popup, right? And over here, in the EL, let's just say in the init we say this dot EL dot card equal to document dot get element by ID this dot EL dot card. So when we initialize the after the document being loaded, when we initialize, it'll get the card and save that in over here, right? So when we come over here, let's check the cp card dot l dot l dot card, and this is going to have our div, right? If we do not call init, it's not going to have a div. It's just going to be simply a text which we assign over here, right? So all the initialization we do in this function. Okay, now in the opening we just simply do this dot l dot classes, it's just classes, like classes. Let's forget the vanilla JavaScript, right? Okay, let's use jQuery. So I'll just come over here at the theme.liquid and right, where we added the JavaScript. Let's find that line where it is. Okay, there it is. So before that, we load the jQuery from jQuery server /jQuery -v1.0.js, right? Okay, now we can fetch that easily by just doing this .el.card, and now we have that, right? There you go. We have a jQuery object. What is it like? So we come over here and we use jQuery's document dot ready function, and we call cp cart dot init. Okay, in jQuery we also need the hash, so yeah, there we go, we have that div. Okay, now when we want to open, right, we say this dot el dot cart dot add class active. This adds the class active to the cart, and we say this dot el dot cart remove class active. Okay, reload. Now when we come over here, we say this dot cp cart dot open. There, the car is open, right? And we say close, it is closed, right? So we need to put that event over here in that on that card method, right? On that card link, which is header icon dash card. So let's just find that, and on init, let's call that header icon dash card, and on click that, we get that event and we prevent its default. And also I need to call this in here, so we don't have this available in here, right? We want to call cp card, but we can only call it this way, right? Because if we call this over here, this is going to point out to this header icon over here. So what I like to do is at the start of every function, every method of this object, I'm going to initialize a constant which is going to be $this, and that will point, or just underscore t, right? Underscore t is good. Underscore t is going to point out this object, so I'm just going to do underscore t dot open, right? So when we click on this, and card will open, right? Okay, right now when we click on this add to cart, we need to like get the add that product to cart and open this cart and show this products over here. So first of all, let's load the existing cart products over here. For that, we need to use the Ajax API, and let's see what Ajax API has for us. So I'm going to head over to the reference over here in the cart section, and we have this get method over here slash cart.js. It returns the JSON of the cart, right? So let's come over here and let's write a method load cart. And in this method, we're just going to do fetch the cart.js slash cart.js, right? And we're going to use dot then the promise, right? And response, turn that response into JSON, and then use that data. So I'm going to console log, right? I'm going to say cart, and let's load the cart when our cart is initialized. So I'm going to call _t dot load cart, and I'm also going to replace this with _t, not using semicolons anymore. Okay, so we have all of the JSON of the cart over here. Now we just have to build the items out of this array, right? I'm just going to add one item to the cart. Okay, so let's load it again. Okay, we have one item in there right now, so we need to display that item over here. Let's just yeah, in the load cart method over here, let's just call a method, create a method vendor cart, right, which will take the cart object from us. So let's just pass that object to render cart, right, the data object, and I'm going to initialize this over here. So we have the cart object in here, so we just simply need to loop from this items array, right? This is an array, so we need to loop from it and display all those items over there. So let's just do dot for each, and in there we have that item. Let's just console.log item. Okay, there we go, we have the single item now. Let's build the object out of it, right? So I'm going to create another method, create item HTML, or yeah, that is good, create item HTML, right? So this is going to take the item data from us and return the item HTML. So let's say we call this, and we say const item element equals to _t, create item HTML, and pass it item, right? So we take the item over here and we create simple yeah, so we create item element, and there we create a div, right, an empty div, and in that div we specify the text item dot title, and let's return that item L from here. So we have that item L, we just need to append that item L to this cart inner, right, custom cart inner. So we're just going to fetch that, or let's just create a ID cart popup, another div. So let's just copy its ID, and I'm going to create a wrapper over here. So items, let's just say items L, right? And let's repeat this line for items L2. Right? And now we just need to append this to underscore t dot l dot items L. Sorry, items L, yeah. Okay, now after loading the cart, if we open this cart, we see Al Pacino t-shirt over here. Now if I go back to our products page and add a product, another product, let's just create a money heist t-shirt, make it active, and let's just add the quantity of 11. Okay, it's active. Products. Okay, I'm just going to go to collection / all, and we have the t-shirt. Let's add that t-shirt to the cart. So reload. There we go, we have that t-shirt in the cart now. But now we need is, you know, a lot more precise view, a good. We are not going to show the user with some text like, hey, you have that in cart, you cannot do anything about it. So but first step, let's just add a simple let's add some styles and also add a delete box over here from delete cart, right, to delete from cart. And so let's say when we're building the HTML, what we do over here is we do not create text, right? What we do is we create another div, right? We create another p, and in that p we add the item dot title, and in another anchor, and we create another anchor, right? Or we can create a button, and in that button we say remove. We can always put an icon there, but that's an extra work, so let's just go and we put an event on it, and in that event over here we're going to remove the item from cart over here. Now we need to append these both to item L over here because we need to show them in there. So let's just at the end we say, oh yeah, append to item L and over here too. Okay, there we go. Remove. Right. So what we need to do to remove those items from cart, okay, we need to call the update over here and send the updates object with 0 quantity over here. You see they say about you can remove items from the cart by setting the quantity to 0. Okay, so let's say let's create a remove item from cart. I'll just remove item, right, and we pass the ID. So let's do a fetch by post, right, and I'll just get the fetch post wrapper from there. I'm not used to write that, so let's just, yeah, with method fetch post content type, let's copy that over here. So there we go. We don't need cores, cache, credentials. We just need headers because that is JSON, right? And yeah, okay. No redirect, no refer policy, and in the body we need to send the data. So over here we need an updates object, and in that updates object we need to send a key with ID of that item, and that ID we need to send 0. So we have return response.json over here. We are waiting for that. We don't need a wait. We need to send this to /car/updates update.js, I think. yes, slash car slash update.js. And okay, now we need to do a dot then over here, so we get the response, we turn that response to JSON, and we use that response, and we see that in the console right now. So we need to call this remove item over here. We do like, okay, we say const underscore t equals to this, and in here we say underscore t dot remove item, and we pass in that item's ID. Okay. So open the car, click on remove. There we go. In response, we get a new car object which only has that one item. So if I reload, now our cart only has one item, it is removed. But we want to update this cart without reloading, right? So let's just come over here, and we need our last thing to do in run a cart, which is like emptying this this tag before, you know, filling it with items. So let's just do empty. Let's just call empty on that, because it is a jQuery object, so calling empty on it will just empty that tag. So after removing, we need to load the cart again out here. So we call underscore t dot, but we don't need to load the cart again because we already have that cart object over here. So we don't need to make an extra request over here by calling the load cart. We just simply need to call the vendor cart over here, right? So let's just call that and pass it the new cart object. Let's go over here and click on remove. So it says underscore t is not defined, and that is the problem over here because we have not created the underscore t. Okay, so we don't have any objects in the cart right now because it was removed by last request. Continue t-shirt. Okay, so I'm gonna click on the cart, and yeah, just reload the cart. Click on it. So remove. There we go. It's removed. Remove. Yeah. So we also need to show an image, right, of the cart. I'm going to like build the HTML for that. So over here, when let's just collapse these methods which we're not working on. So create item HTML. We also create a div with image, right? We call append, and in that div we create an image. In that image we provide the attribute source, and we have that source over here in featured image, but it is null right now because we don't have an image. So okay, let's get any t-shirt image. Okay, let's just not do that. Okay. Next thing for our is when we click on this add to cart, we need to like override this behavior and add our own, because we don't need to open this cart pop-up, right? So let's just come over here, and the Dawn theme, it has its own mechanism. You would have to find the code for what is, you know, overriding this behavior, like adding this behavior when you click on add to cart. So I'm just gonna go over here, and I know what the Dawn theme has. So it has the product-farm.js, and what this is doing is, you know, it is adding the event listener, you know, the submit event listener, and this is what is adding the product cart. So we're just going to override this behavior by simply binding around event to this button. So now I'm just going to get this button, okay, and that is this product form underscore submit. Let's see, product-form.js. Sorry, yeah. So I'm just going to go over here, and we're going to bind an event. So for that, I'm going to create a new method over here. Okay, I'm just going to say bind events, right? Now this is going to be called when our card is initialized. So let's say bind events, and in bind events we're going to get that button of product submit wherever it is, and do on click on that. So say, and before on click we'll remove all of the submit event listener on that. Actually it is the event listener of submit, so we have to like remove that submit and add our own submit over here. So off is the inverse of on. It removes any event listener registered to that event, right? So we got the E, and we still do prevent default. We do not want to do any other default behavior over here. I'm just going to console.log add product to cart, right? So I'm going to click on this. It's still doing its own behavior. We're not overriding this right now, so let's see what's happening over here. We have that button type submit. Okay, let's say, yeah. So on this button event listener we have submit, right? We have the product-form.js and custom card popup.js. So what's happening over here is our file gets loaded before this file gets loaded after, so we don't have the functionality of ours. So I'm just going to comment this line out over here so it doesn't work anymore. Okay, it's not working. Now we need to bind our own event to that. So let's get this form ID. Okay, right, quantity label, where is that form? We should have a form over here. Okay, there's that product form. Yeah, there it is, form action slash car slash add. So I'm just going to get that form. Sorry, let's just use tilde over here, attribute. So this is going to fetch any form which has action attribute with this value in that, and I'm going to remove the submit, and on submit we're going to prevent default. Let's reload over here, and on click it says add product to cart. So now when this form is being submitted, we need to get the default variant from this form, right? And that is going to be over here from the name ID, and we need to add this with the value of quantity to our cart, and we're going to use this slash cart slash add.js. We need to post this this data to the slash add, and we can also see they have given us the example over here. We can use the post method of jQuery and post the form directly by serializing that. So we're going to use that one. So I'm just going to do $.post over here, and I'm going to say slash car slash add.js, and to that method we need to just submit this data by serializing this form. So I'm going to say $this. Now over here this points to this form, so serialize, and after that let's say when it is done, on success, I'm gonna call that function with data, so console.log data, right? Let's come over here, reload, add to cart. Says dot success is not a function. I think it's okay. Success is not a function. Let's say $post. It's been a while I've used $post, right? So okay, it's jQuery post, right? Okay, for jQuery we have the URL. We need to pass the method as the callback over here, like this. So add to cart, and after that we get the JSON, right? Yeah, it says the colon because it hasn't. We need to specify that what we're doing is the content JSON type, so we need to specify the JSON in the data type over here. Okay, we need to just simply specify that over here. Let's say data type is no, we're not passing an object, so URL data success and data type. To do something like, okay, here's the JSON this way, I think. Yep. Okay, so we get the JSON of added product to cart. Now after this we need to load the cart again, so in this callback we'll just simply call load cart, and over here we will initialize the _t with this. Now if I click add to cart, see that, so after loading the cart we also need to open the cart so user can know that product is successfully added to cart. So let's create a simple parameter over here, open, which is defaults to false, and over here we say true because we want to open the cart. So if the parameter is open, right, after rendering the cart we need to open it. So let's say if open, simply do _t dot open, right? So I'm going to add the cart. It's open, remove. We don't have anything, add to cart, that says, right? So going back to the catalog, money heist t-shirt, say add to cart, that says money heist t-shirt. Remove the Al Pacino. Yep, there you go. So we just have a very little skeleton, like Ajax card skeleton, right? We can always improve it, we can always add elements, we can always add a quantity selector over here to update and change the price of over here without reloading the page. We can always build something out of here. We can always add the upsell over here. There are a lot of room for improvement, and I'm gonna cover a lot of those topics in my other videos. And yep, we can also add one last thing is that we can also add a checkout button over here which takes us to the checkout. So that depends up to you guys, whatever you want to do. So that's it for today. Make sure to subscribe the channel for latest Shopify tutorials I'm going to be uploading to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you get all of the live updates. Thank you so much. Bye.